Hello everyone and welcome to this episode of my Moon Signs of the Zodiac series. In this episode I'm going to be talking about what it means if you or someone that you know has their moon in the sign of Capricorn. Now, to first understand what it means to have a moon in Capricorn, we have to know what is the moon in a person's birth chart. Well, the moon is what represents your emotional needs, like what you need in order to feel safe, secure, emotionally satisfied and happy. It also represents emotional nature, just how you are in general, how you respond to the world on an instinctive and automatic basis. The moon has a lot to do with this sort of thing. It also, sorry, my cat is in the way. It also represents, yeah, like what your talents are, what you're good at, stuff like that. And the way that we inherent our traits for the moon sign is through our experiences, interactions, and perception of the mother. It doesn't have to be your mum, it could be any parent, particularly the one who was the most nurturing one, or any caregiver who was the most nurturing. But typically it represents your mum. So now that we know what the moon represents, what does Capricorn represent? Well, Capricorn is an earth sign. So this is focused on the material realm, tangible, physical things, and it's ruled by the planet of Saturn. So Saturn is all about structure, boundary, limitations, rules, time. Saturn rules time. Anything that is to do with structure, time and space, I would say Saturn rules. So it's all about, it's more about what you can't do rather than what you can. But with Saturn having that kind of restrictive energy, it allows everyone, because we're all influenced by Saturn, especially people with Saturn influence charts, but it allows us to build a structure and routine and cultivate strength. It provides a framework to build and become strong. So Capricorn is an earth-based Saturn-ruled sign. It's also a cardinal sign, so this is a sign of leadership, ambition, charging ahead, making changes, and initiating new things. So it's not a super stubborn, fixed sign. It's kind of always trying to move to the next level. And it's the 10th sign of the zodiac. It is situated within the 10th house of the zodiac, and the 10th house, just like Capricorn, is associated with a career, authority, public standing, ambition, and I associate it with like bosses and teachers and society, like yeah, I was going to say law, but no, that's more of a Libra thing. But really, so, and also Capricorn is represented by the mountain goat, also the goat fish. I would say the goat fish is more traditional, and it provides a bigger, more well-rounded picture of Capricorn. So the goat part is that the goat will climb the mountain, get to the top of the mountain, even if the mountain is very, very, very steep, practically vertical. The goat will hang on there. It's tough, it's rugged, it is determined, and it will achieve its goals, even if it's slowly. And the fish represents the emotional side. So people might think Capricorn is not a very emotional sign, and it's not considered to be one of the more emotional signs. However, that's not true. It just, with Capricorn, there is an ability, often a requirement, to take those emotions and structure them, put them in a box, dissociate from them sometimes, and only let them out when it's very, very necessary. So when I think of with Capricorn, I do think of a deeply emotional sign. It's not obvious at all, and they don't wear their heart on their sleeves, you know. And yeah, so it's polarity. Capricorn's polarity is positive, also known as masculine, also known as a day, sign. So this is external, action orientated and ambitious. It's more of a doing sign rather than a feeling and perceiving kind of energy. So now that we know what the moon is and what Capricorn is, what does it mean if you have a Capricorn moon? So it's often said to be, I mean, it's true that the moon is in detriment here. Does that mean that this is a bad place for the moon to be? No, it doesn't mean that. Definitely doesn't mean that. It's not bad. In fact, this is a really strong and powerful moon sign. There's no bad moon sign placement, but the moon is comfortable in the moon is about emotions. It's associated with water. It's associated with the fourth house, so the moon is more comfortable in a more emotional sign when you put it into a sign like Capricorn, which is Saturn ruled about, restrictions and order, and it's Earth. It kind of it does dry up a bit, and the moon is a bit more uncomfortable here. So it could result in a person who is uncomfortable with their own emotions, uncomfortable with the emotions of other people. And some of the signs that don't do well, I've often said that they will intellectualize their emotions. I don't believe Capricorn Moon intellectualizes their emotions. They're very aware of them, but they put them in a box, and there's nothing wrong with that at all. But like that's how Capricorn Moon moves. These people, they're like, right, well, I have to be tough, I have to be strong, I have to be hardworking, I have to be determined if I'm going to reach my goals. And if I'm going to do that, I can't afford to be so emotional all the time. And I guess that's true. If these people are, and they do tend to be very ambitious, then emotions could perhaps be a hindrance sometimes, but they could also be a great benefit as well. Your emotions are what drives you to want to achieve great things in the first place. And so, an analogy that I have when I think of Capricorn moon, I think of, right, so Capricorn and the moon, how does that go together? Well, I think of a dam, right? Because we have water, free flowing water that represents the emotions, the moon element. Capricorn seeks to control, restrict, and create a system. This is because it's Saturn ruled, especially. You could say it's because it's Earth element as well, but it's more Saturn. Saturn seeks to, when I think of Saturn, I think of a grid, I think of a system. So when you bring that Saturn system and control and limitation into the element of water, I think, how would that take place? Well, we have a physical representation of that. That is a dam, like it's physical engineering, a wall, to create a kind of new order out of the water, the free flowing water. No longer can it freely flow. I don't know much about dams. I'm not an engineer. From what I've seen with dams is they tend to have a kind of, probably a better word for it, like a hatch, like to let a small amount of water through, a controlled amount. It's controlled. And that's when that. So I really believe that analogy, that does I do associate that with Capricorn moons. So they have the water, they have the emotions, a deep well of emotions. So if you think about a dam, on the other side of the dam where the water is, it's a very deep reservoir of water. And this is the Capricorn moon individual. They are, yeah, deeply emotional. They absolutely are. I mean, they don't let the emotions run things so much to the point where they have a kind of system of control where, like, oh, I'm gonna let a little bit of emotion out, a little bit, but nothing more than that. And there's nothing wrong with that at all. Like, what works for different people is always different. But I would say that, yeah, it's almost like with Capricorn moons, it could be like a black and white kind of thinking. Like either I'm going to be really emotional or I'm not going to be emotional at all. That's the goat fish dichotomy there. There's the goat and then there's the fish. But how can they be in the water? And if the goat fish, right, which is the Capricorn animal, it kind of, in a sense, doesn't even make any sense, because if it's in the water, the fish is happy, but then the goat side's not happy. And if it's on the mountain climbing, the fish isn't happy, it wants to be in the water. So it's almost like there's this, yeah, an uncomfortable nature with the Capricorn moon individual, because they're either pushing their feelings aside and working really hard, getting stuff done, or they're experiencing their emotions, but maybe feeling guilty or uncomfortable about it, because no, 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 I need to put them away and I need to focus on my goals. And I believe you can reach a balance, but I think this tends to be something that can happen with a Capricorn moon individual. So yeah, Capricorn moon people, tough people, strong. Um Absolutely. Yeah, yeah, it's a tough placement for the moon. I would say these are tough people. They know how to be strong and tough. The desire to appear strong as well. Like that's the thing. Like they need to feel like I'm strong and I'm in control and I can handle things, and they don't like to feel to see to be appearing as vulnerable. This makes them uncomfortable, and yeah, just displaying emotions that can be difficult for them, and other people's emotions as well. They might not understand, like, how can these people be emotional like that? How can't they just be more like the way that I am? And other people, express their emotions more, and the Capricorn moon person might be uncomfortable with that or not understand it, you know? I think deep down they do understand it, because, like I'm saying, Capricorn moon, they are very emotional, but it's like the expression of it, like they may maybe struggle with that a little bit. And yeah, so just very goal driven, very organized. Like I'm saying, you got that Saturn system, that Saturn control, that Saturn limitation and perseverance, and just it's strong. It's yeah, and that cardinal earth, like cardinal, like making new things happen, treading new grounds, starting new things, projects, and putting that together with earth, which is about, like tangible security, finance. You're And then that Saturn system, you got a real hard worker, goal orientated person. So the Capricorn moon person is really determined, and they almost certainly will get what they want, just as the goat will almost certainly get to the top of the mountain, even if it's raining, even if it's hailstones, even if it's windy, even if they fall down some and they have to go climbing back up again. Um, Even if they have to spend some time in the water feeling emotions, but they'll they'll get to the top of the mountain. So these are extremely determined, hardworking people. So yeah, these people, I would say they do good in a maybe a teacher kind of a teacher, authority, anything with kind of authority, public standing, public figures. These people would do well. Career, so like public, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, speaking of public perception, I think, yeah, like the desire to be seen as doing good, like Capricorn rules the 10th house, which is the house of the midheaven, which is the house of our public image, persona, goals and aspirations. So Capricorn moon people are all about this, like they're all about that kind of energy. I think yeah, these people are not super sentimental. I mean, they absolutely are, but they don't like to embrace it unless, right, and this is something I've noticed with Capricorn moons, and I've also read about Capricorn moons. I feel like I talked about the dam and then letting a little bit of water out instead of the river flowing freely, and I think that music can provide that outlet for Capricorn moon people, allows those emotions to kind of come to the surface a bit more, that otherwise would be kind of locked in. And so yeah, I see a deep kind of passion, love for music, playing music, and it's really yeah, very, very comforting to them. Very, very comforting. I mean, it is for everyone, but for the Capricorn moon person, it's almost like it fulfills a more therapeutic kind of quality for them, and element. So yeah, I would say these people had to learn how to be emotionally independent early on. Capricorn, as I said, moon represents your experiences with the mother, and I would say parents in general, but typically the mother. So Capricorn is not a super warm, emotional, sensitive sign. With Capricorn, probably had like structure and routine, like, like good, like, bedtime and homework and order and structure, and your needs were probably met. But emotionally, um, this person's mum just might have been uncomfortable with emotions, as Capricorn is uncomfortable with emotions, or this individual may have learned to become uncomfortable being emotional around their mother because perhaps she wouldn't react well to that. So they embody a Capricorn energy with the mum, where I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to just hold it in, hold my emotions in, and be structured and keep a lid on it, and almost, yeah, dissociate from emotional sensitivities a bit, and only let that out in very controlled and private ways. And the rest of the time, just be like super, like, think a Capricorn, um, yeah, just like a kind of yeah, really, really tough, really independent, really Saturnian, dry, earth element. So like that. So they probably learn to be like that, like really early on, and they continue with this nature, which, like those difficult experiences definitely have their detriment, but they also allowed these people to become strong and emotionally self-sufficient, and the desire for more as well, because maybe, yeah, maybe not lots of happiness and emotional comfort and joy or whatever was immediately present for these people. So they go in search of it. If I achieve this or that, I will feel good or feel happy or feel more comfortable, with myself. So I think this maybe is the origin for their goal orientated nature, you know. These people, yeah, just like that, yeah, just like career focused and stuff. So yeah, that's what I would say for like the Capricorn moon people. I'm trying to think if I've got anything else here that I would like to say. Um, yeah, that's about it. I mean, I'm gonna do more moon videos in the future, but right now I think that's about it for Capricorn moon. If you like this video, please leave a like, please subscribe, please hit the bell icon and leave a wee comment. It helps me with the algorithm. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Take care and bye for now.